Hello, Cancer placements, and welcome to your June 2021 reading. This is Metanoia Tarot. My name is Brittany. It's been a minute. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to look at the theme of June for you, and we're going to look at the storyline of what's going on with any Cancer placements, and we're going to give you some advice, and then we're going to roll my astrology dice. That rhymed. I didn't even try. All right, so let's look at the theme for Cancer placements. All Cancer placements. Oh, shoot, that was easy. Okay, we got thriving in the reverse. Not to say you're not thriving, okay? You might not be focused on thriving. You may be doing something else other than thriving. You could just be existing. You could just be surviving, trying to get through the day. You could be... This could be a message as to consider thriving intentionally. Consider not just getting through the day. Now, that's easier said than done. Listen, that's way easier said than done. You want to thrive. You want to be that, that flower that just blooms and it's radiant. And you stand out and you want to do that, and you can do that. It's not out of your reach. It's not impossible. But I think there's some other life situations, some other circumstances that are keeping you from either feeling like you're thriving, or maybe there could be some shame around it. I feel like it's because survivor's remorse. Do you feel like you've passed someone? Or do you feel guilty for... Maybe you feel guilty for thriving. Maybe you're not accepting the fact that you are thriving. You could be the first to thrive in your family. You could be the first to thrive in your friend group. You could be the first to really thrive. You're not, how do I put this? It's like you're not struggling. Okay? Although you could be, that could be, why you feel like, you're not thriving. It all depends on how this relates to you. We're going to see as we pull more cards. But if you're one of the ones that feel guilty for thriving, listen, this life shit is hard. It's easy sometimes, but it's hard. Especially as you get older and you learn new things and you grow and you evolve and your perspective on things change, and one day you change your mind about an opinion you've had for 20 years, and then you're like, you know what? I don't feel this way anymore. I no longer feel this way. I no longer, subscribe to this way of thinking. And sometimes that type of change, that type of growth can leave a bad taste in people's mouths. But the thing about it is that change did more. You just changing your mind was enough to send you on a totally different path that could absolutely have led to thriving. Okay, you deciding that you no longer believed XYZ is why now you can thrive, and you can grow, and you can blossom, and you can move forward, and you can persevere, and you can just, man, it's like getting out of your own mental jail, your own mental prison, right? Let's look at the storyline for Cancer placements. Let's see what's going on. Okay, let's look at the storyline for Cancer placements. We got the card that flipped over. We got the Five of Cups in the reverse. Five of Cups in the reverse. So you're not crying over spilled milk, right? You are moving forward. You have decided what is just what it is. And that's great. Right? What more do you want? When you're no longer when you're no longer when you're no longer how do I put this? When you're no longer stuck in your head about something, the Five of Cups reverse is taking the other two cups that are still full and moving forward. It's like, okay, this happened, but you know what? I have this to salvage. And that is okay. And that should be enough. And I'll do with what I can. And I'll collect more cups and fill more cups up. Let's see what else is happening in this storyline for Cancer placements. Okay. Got the Knight of Cups in the reverse. The Knight of Cups for me always reads as someone who shows up with something, but their intentions aren't very true. Or it's meaningless information. Cancer, it's interesting that your first two cards are cups. The cups are water. So there's a lot of emotion going on with you guys. It feels conflicting too. It feels conflicting because I feel conflicted. It feels very conflicting. Bottom of the deck. Let's see. Got the World in the reverse. Yeah, you feel stuck. You feel stuck. The World in the reverse is being stuck in a cycle. It's like something should be ending, but you're stuck. And it's strange, and I think it's more so with what's going on in your mind. Because the Five of Cups in the reverse is you deciding, I'm no longer going to cry over spilled milk. I'm gonna take what I have left, and I'm gonna move forward. Like, I'm gonna take the milk that didn't fall out of this cup, and I'm gonna go make my bowl of cereal, or I'm gonna go put this in my bowl of ingredients, and I'm gonna continue making what I'm making. I have enough milk. I lost a lot of my milk, but I still have milk left. I'm not gonna cry over this. There's this acceptance, but there's this Knight of Cups in the reverse energy here. It's interesting. Especially with this idea that you're not thriving, or perhaps you should feel bad for thriving, and you shouldn't feel bad for thriving. Who makes you believe that you should feel bad for thriving? I think that's what's keeping you stuck in a cycle. Like, it's a mental cycle. It's not a real cycle. It's like you in your head. The Knight of Cups is, I feel like this is someone that's shown up to make you doubt yourself. Or perhaps it's you doubting yourself. But the Knight, for me, feels like somebody else. The Knight of Cups is someone who, I'm not going to say they're beneath you. They're not beneath you. They're probably someone who, they are probably someone who is not doing what you're doing. They may want to do what you're doing. If you work at a company together, they're technically beneath you. you know. It's like somebody wants you to feel like you're not doing everything that you're doing. And I think you're in your head about it. Although you've accepted some. What did you accept? The Five of Cups in reverse. We're going to clarify that. What did you accept? The Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. I think it's like you've accepted. Okay. It seems like you've accepted your own instability, but it doesn't feel present. It feels like you accepted that at one point you were not the most stable person, you were not the most reliable person. That's something that you've accepted. Or perhaps you accepted that someone in your life was not reliable and they were not stable. It feels like something, you've internalized something that's either not yours or no longer even applies to you. It's really like a mind over matter thing. Like it's really like I'm in my head type of energy. I'm going to clarify the Knight of Cups in the reverse. Two of Wands, clarifying the Knight of Cups in the reverse. When it comes to this Knight of Cups in the reverse person, this person that I feel like is showing up to make you doubt yourself. You should definitely use your foresight with this person. Like they're not, for one, you know who they are. But you've also been through something similar or witnessed something similar. Or you just have the intuition. You are Cancer, you are an intuitive with this water energy. And there's water energy here. It showed up first. So use your intuition to intuitively, not predict, but, like predict, like hypothesize how this can play out with this person. Almost like being 2 steps ahead of this person. Now, not playing mind games with them, but becoming, just observing them a little more closely for your protection. Because you're pressing forward anyway. So the advice is to press forward beyond this person, but also be mindful of what they can do. It's hard to talk about it because it's not like you're doing anything blatant. It's just there's someone who probably knows how to play on your insecurities and your doubts. And they have you thinking, with all that you've been doing, that you're not doing what you're doing. And that's crazy to me. You're literally stuck in a mental cycle. Okay, we're going to clarify the World card in reverse. And because you're stuck in a mental cycle, it's keeping you stuck somewhere else in your life. And you got to break free. So we're going to clarify the World card in reverse for Cancer signs. Cancer placements, excuse me. The Knight of Swords. Yeah, you might have to. So with the Knight of Swords, clarifying the World in the reverse. It's like when you're stuck in this space, like in limbo, when you seem stuck, that's when, because we're in Gemini season, okay? It's air energy. It's quicker energy, right? Quicker than Taurus. Doesn't flow like Cancer. It's air. Think of the wind. The wind be all over the goddamn place. So we got the Knight of Swords coming in, the only air energy in this chart. And clarifying the world card. So it's like while things are in limbo, while things are kind of just hanging in the balance, and there's a site. While somebody is running in circles, somebody's running in to like, I'm thinking of like a battle. But they're like, oh, we're going to distract them while we do this. So I was just watching Game of Thrones, right? Remember the Blackwater episode where Tyrion's plan was, okay, we're going to, they have a fleet of ships, right? They have like hundreds of ships. We have one ship that we're going to send out there. And everybody was confused about what the hell he was doing. Then they realized that the ship was empty. The ship was empty, and they were like, what the fuck? What is this? Come to find out, the ship was fucking, filled with wildfire. And he burnt a lot of them niggas up. So it's almost like someone is keeping you in your heads and keeping you distracted so they could come in and probably can cause more confusion, probably talking reckless about you, taking advantage of this moment. But they're not doing anything to you. They're probably just talking. It's just talk. Which is why I'm going to say pay attention to people in June. Pay attention to people. It is Gemini season. People going to be talking any goddamn way. Pay attention to these people. Pay very close attention to these to the people that make you feel a little weird. But it's also, Mercury is also going into retrograde. So just like I said, be observant. Don't do anything because they're not doing anything. I mean, they're like physically, they're not causing you any bodily harm. That's what I mean. So you don't got to fight nobody or anything like that. However, be mindful of people's intentions and just be more observant, Cancer. And don't doubt yourself because you've come a long way. You've come a long way, and nobody can take that from you. Absolutely nobody. I don't care who they are. Excuse me, I don't care who they think they are. Okay? Advice for Cancer. Cancer placements. The advice for Cancer placements is remind yourself not to take it personal. Most situations have absolutely nothing to do with us. We are all healing. So, the person that's out here trying to confuse you and they feel like shit about themselves. So they want you to feel like shit about yourself. Not because you did anything wrong, but because they're not happy with themselves and they need to bring someone down to their level. Even if they are being like conniving, like, and they're playing on your emotions and they're playing on your mental health. They're fucking with your head, right? Don't become paranoid. I'll say that. Don't become paranoid. Like I said, observe, let it flow. Be like the water, just flow, and just be observant, and don't overreact to anything. But when you peep something, respond differently. Identify like, I've been responding to this behavior like this, and realizing, oh, this is what they wanted me to do. Okay, now I see what it is. I'm going to respond completely different now. Not because I want to spite them, but because I want to protect me. And I have stuff to do. And I'm not going to believe the lies that they try to feed into my mind or they're trying to convince me to do. When you're hanging out with somebody, those people who try to convince you that something's wrong with you. Not that they try to convince you something's wrong with you. Like, they put themselves down when they talk to you. And they're hyping you up in the process. I just saw a tweet about this. So somebody was talking about, there are people who they gas you up while also putting themselves down. And for some people, that's like a mind game because it's like reverse psychology. If I put myself down and hype you up, I'm going to get you to put yourself down and make me feel better. Nah, don't put yourself down. Don't do that. Don't let nobody play you like that. If you feel like shit about yourself, sis, I don't know what to tell you. That sucks. I give you some advice, I feel good about myself, and now let me tell you why. Don't respond the way they want you to respond, the way they think you're going to respond. If somebody's putting themselves down and hyping you up, and your response is to continue to hype yourself up and not put yourself down in the process, how that person responds is going to tell you who you fucking with. It's going to let you know who you dealing with. It's going to let you know. So we're going to roll these astrology dice. Okay. Oh, shoot. Sorry, guys. Y'all can't even see this. Okay. So look at where Aquarius is in your chart. Now, this is for people that are into astrology. Even if you're not into astrology, you could Google your chart. Not Google your chart. You can go to astro.com and create your chart. And if you don't understand, you could just Google it like we all, learn how to do things, or if you get a book or whatever the case may be. Or if you're already into astrology, you already know how to look for these things. But if not, Google is your friend, okay? The astral community is your friend. Well, sometimes. I won't go into any of that. Google is your friend, okay? So for Cancers, wherever Aquarius is in your chart, Aquarius is the innovator, okay? Aquarius is where you stand out, okay? And then we have 3, which is the third house. The third house it rules the mind, it rules communication, it rules like siblings. It rules, what else can I remember? The mind. I already said the mind, right? Yeah, the mind and your thinking and your communication, and I believe the third house is ruled by Gemini. Because the fourth house is ruled by Cancer. Yeah, it's ruled by Gemini. Yeah. The third house is ruled by Gemini. We're in Gemini season now. We got this Gemini energy coming up. This gossipy, running their mouth type of energy, which is like that, the shadow side of Gemini. And you want to look into your third house to see what's going on there. And you also have Pluto. Pluto came up for Geminis as well. So you may want to look at the Gemini reading. They may be connected for you. Cancer placements. Pluto has to do with your fear. Pluto could deal with healing. It could deal with death. Not like literal death. It doesn't have to be literal death. It could be like an ego death. It could be like a death of a self, like a rebirth. All the dark stuff. A dark night of the soul type of vibe I'm feeling. But like I said, your advice is remind yourself not to take it personal. Most situations have absolutely nothing to do with us. We are all healing. So if you feel like you're being sucked into somebody else's shit, just notice that that's what may be happening, and pull yourself back out. Okay? That may take a little bit of self-awareness and a little bit of work for you to do, but it's okay. It's worth it. Okay, Cancers? I love you guys. Thank you for listening, and I will see you next time.